Hello everybody, this is Mr. Pluntz. I am making math interesting and possibly even fun. Today we are talking about rational functions. This is a rational function. You are not going to find one of those at the grocery store. And in a few years when you start doing your taxes, you're not going to find one there either. Rational functions are, however, important. They have a lot of applications in calculus. So some of the ideas we talk about in rational functions, like getting close to something, but not quite touching it, or maybe eventually touching it, those are some of the ideas that we'll get to in calculus. Calculus has all sorts of applications in physics, in astronomy, in design, and rational functions are one of the basic ideas that you'll have to understand going into further math courses. Before we get going too far, let's step back a little bit and do some review. All right, let's talk about some types of graphs. Okay, graphs are kind of like dogs. Okay, we have a pretty basic dog here on the left. Now, if we have a pretty basic graph here on the right, the first graph you guys learned was just to graph a line. And you really didn't have much to compare and contrast it to, so you might not even realize it was called a function. Okay, so the idea is, okay, if you've got a dog, do you care what kind of dog it is? Well, of course you do. What if it's a big dog? Okay, when you graph a graph in a more advanced math class, do you care what kind of graph it is? Well, sure. Okay, one basic type of graph is the function. A function could be a parabola. A function, every input has only one output. Okay, now some functions can get a little crazy. Whoa! That dog looks a little crazy. Now this graph will look a little crazy. Some graphs go up and down and up and keep going forever. And the other way, they go down and down forever in both directions, up and down. That one's a little crazy. All right, now some graphs aren't functions. Some animals aren't dogs. Whoa, that's not a dog. Okay. So not a function could be something like an oval, where this input has two outputs. That makes it not a function. Our most basic function is the line. Other common functions that you study are the parabola, the square root graph, the cubic, and the absolute value graph. If you look at all of these together, there they are. Those are the basic functions. Now we're adding a new function today, the rational function. We're going to talk about more about that in just a second. All of these functions can be written in the form y equals. If you're curious about something that's not a function, there's one right there. You cannot write this in the form y equals, and if you notice 2, at the input of 2, there are 2 outputs. That makes it not a function. So the new function today is y equals 1 over x. A couple of interesting things to notice is that 1 over x there's two different parts. There's this top right part and this bottom left part. So it looks like there's two different graphs, but they come from only one equation. That's pretty weird. And the other thing interesting is look at these. The line looks like it's getting closer and closer and closer to the x-axis here on the right until it hits it, or does it? Let's zoom in and check. Okay, nope, it's just really close. Here are some rational functions that are changing, so it's kind of cool to see how they change. Now some of these are a little crazy. You're not going to run into ones like this with weird slanty things. And the next one also has weird spots where they go up and down and kind of flatten out. You'll run into ones that are more vertical and horizontal, like this one, or one of these. Well, everybody, that should just about do it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoy your unit on graphing rational functions. Good luck.